Hello, welcome. This is Here's Your Good Health. My name is Linda Prezioso. I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center. And I'm so excited to have Kanisha Berry with me again tonight. She was here a couple weeks ago, and I've just been so impressed with her since the first time I met her, what, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not very long ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, she made a speech today at a meeting I was at, and I was so impressed. Once again, I said, please come on my show tonight, and she graciously said she would. So she's just run in here. We both had really busy days. We're going, I don't know what the heck I do that I'm so busy, but I am.
That's how life is.
I know. Anyway, welcome.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you
Thank
with.
you.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
excited you're in our town and part of our community. I mean, God has just richly blessed this community with so many awesome people.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. And
Good.
I'm finding Rocky Mount to be this little treasure. Because growing up, even though I grew up not too far from here, I didn't know much about the town.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying to a lady, the business is here, and I know maybe to some people, if you live here too long, you might not see the treasure.
Right, that's right.
But I'm an outsider, so I see the network as a treasure, and
Yes.
even the few shops that they're starting to bring downtown. I like little stuff like that, so
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be here.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And she's part of our community now. And tell us, you've got some big shindig tomorrow. I can't go. I'm very disappointed. I've got a previous engagement.
Yeah.
I know.
So tomorrow I'm offering a workshop that I've titled Winning at Love and Money. And I know some people think, what do the two have to do with each other? But the truth of the matter is that everything we do is driven by some type of emotion, thought, or belief. And when I begin to teach and show people kind of what I call stinking thinking, right? You'll find that it oozes off into every area of your life. And the moment you begin to clear that up, all those possibilities open up.
Yeah.
Your finances get better, your relationships get better. And a lot of people say, well, I'm not married, so what relationship am I talking about? That relationship with you, so that relationships get better. And then your coworkers, your siblings,
Sure,
family,
Mom.
parents, yeah.
You don't have to have a spouse to have a relationship.
Exactly.
A good friend that you like to go out to dinner with.
Yeah, I don't know why people have made that word only about male, female, or partner or something like that. So,
Yeah, because it's not.
It's not. It's not.
And look, on top of all of her other accolades, she has written a book. I'm so impressed. I hate writing, y'all. I had to crank out a paper a week when I was in graduate school.
Been there, done that.
And I said, and I'm just now starting to do it again. But anyway, this is 5 steps to conquering fear.
Yeah.
Everything you want is on the other side of fear. And I'm going to have her talk tonight about what she spoke about at lunchtime today, because it clicked to me. It just made sense. And I'm telling you, everybody in there, smart mouth guys to ditzy broads, they all were listening and paying attention. Oh, we had a few little, snide remarks in jest, but I thought they were really listening.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I could kind of see the chiming happening, and particularly with the men. I jokingly said, I'm not going to look at you all because I know sometimes men aren't comfortable talking about emotions. But the truth is they have them.
They sure do.
And maybe I think sometimes as a society we've kind of done a poor job at teaching men how to express those emotions.
Yes.
And so then we marry these wonderful men, and as women we're like, he doesn't talk. I don't know how he feels.
My daughter-in-law went through that, but she made my son talk.
Yeah.
Which is good. And then he said, Mom, I've cried more since I've been married to Christina than I have in my whole life. And I'm like, why? And he said, she makes me talk about stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it works for them.
It does. And here's
it works for more than just them. But.
Yeah, because here's the thing I try to let people understand. Emotions don't die. Like, they live in our bodies, the hurt, the pain, the things from our childhood. So you can't push them down.
Right.
There's this really cool book I read years ago called Buried Feelings Never Die. And so
That's true.
Yeah.
And they pop up at the worst times, and then you have some real issues going on.
Yeah. I heard this lady say, she says, when a person acts hysterical to a small situation, it's historical.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
I was like, so the idea, your reaction is not even to what's happening right now. And many times we're so unaware of the history, those emotions that we think we buried down. We're so unaware of what they're doing to us. Then the little thing sends us into a tailspin. And I call it kind of like lighting our life on fire. You know, you're fussing at the wrong person, you're saying the thing out of anger that you wish you didn't say, you're quitting jobs because you're so mad, you know, I don't have to take this, I quit my job. And then when you calm down, you're like, ooh,
I quit my job.
right, what was I thinking?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
you know, I've noticed in my practice that women, you know, we're real good at kind of sliding stuff under the rug.
yeah.
You know, oh, it doesn't really bother us a whole lot, this little incident and this little thing and what my kids did and what my husband did. But then you hit your 40s, and then you can't put anything more under the rug.
Yeah.
And that's when they come in to me and want an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety, or they're sitting in the exam room and I walk in the door, well, hi, June, how are you? And she bursts into tears.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't know if that's scientific or not, but I've noticed that for women.
I think it's true. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the lady was saying that oftentimes we suffer because we think we have to be nice.
That's me. I'm learning how not to. Well, not that I'm not to be nice,
exactly.
but I've got to express things in a positive way, but still get it off my chest.
Yes, and we can do that. Like, we can begin to say what we think, feel, and need. Sometimes we'll just say what we feel. I just feel like you don't respect me. What do you need? You have to be able to articulate what is it you need, and not just, well, I need respect. What does that look like for you? Because what I might need is respect, or even particularly in relationships, people may very well think they're respecting you because they're doing it from a different language.
Yes.
Right. With the 5 love languages, when my husband and I, earlier in our marriage, particularly when I had the children, he would come home and clean for me. And in his mind, he was doing this because I had the babies and he was taking a load off.
Right.
What I was interpreting is he thinks that the house isn't clean. So the moment he walks in, he feels like he has to clean it. So he's thinking all these negative things about me. But all I needed him to do is to come in and sit down beside me.
Right.
Because my love language is quality time. So he was doing acts of service, and I was resenting him for it. And he would think, I'm doing this for you. Not for me. You must don't like the house messy.
Yeah.
So I thought he was doing it for him, but he really thought he was helping me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah. So that's why it's so important to really articulate. And we as a society, I don't think, know how to do that very well.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that we think of vulnerability as a bad thing. Like, we're taught, don't be vulnerable, don't show people your weakness.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you heard of Brene Brown. She's done a great job at helping people understand that it is in our vulnerability that we become like our best self. You can't be a writer without being vulnerable. You can't be an artist or create something, start a business without being vulnerable, because guess what? You're taking a chance that someone is maybe reject what you have, but that vulnerability is what's going to give you the freedom to do that, instead of saying, you know what, I don't know, I'm so afraid that they may not like it, so I won't ever get started. And then you miss out on your dreams, you miss out on good relationships by just saying, I really would love to go out with Linda for lunch, but what if she says no if I call her? Not just taking that chance, because what if you say yes?
Yeah.
Or what if you say, well, Kenisha, not today, but I can certainly go with you
tomorrow or next week.
But if I'm too afraid to even take the chance, I never get the opportunity to have lunch with you.
That's one nice thing about getting older.
Yeah.
I'm more bold, and I'm kind of like, well, if you don't like it, that's just the way it is. And not in a flippant, arrogant way, but just that's how I feel. Well, this is the way I'm going to do it, and if that doesn't work for you, then it just doesn't work for you.
Right.
But I've not always been like that. That's for sure.
Really? How was it before?
Girl, you wouldn't even believe. I was raised as an only child.
Okay.
So, the world revolved around me, of course.
Of course.
And I did not have a good relationship with my dad. My dad was a World War II vet. And now I know that he was, had PTSD.
Okay.
In those days, they didn't have that label. They didn't know what it was.
Right.
What they used to call it, shell shock or something.
That's exactly what I remember.
And so, my dad, his relief was leaving the office and going down to the club and having a couple, 3, 4, 5 drinks.
Yeah.
And I remember as a little kid calling and saying, Daddy, you going to come home for supper? Sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. Well, as a young girl, I perceived that he didn't like me.
Right.
He didn't want to be home with me.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't want to be home with my mother. I don't know.
Right. Or maybe he didn't want to be home with his own thoughts.
Yeah. But see, you don't, when you're a 10-year-old kid, you don't know that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then my dad died, how old was I? 30 maybe? I was young when he died. So I didn't have a chance to really mature and grow up.
Okay.
And, but I remember when I first got married, and I had a kid, my oldest son, and I was so afraid of people not liking me that I would be upset if the little boy next door didn't come and play with my son.
Ooh.
I mean, just really stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And I was so anxious, Kanisha, that I took my oldest son to the doctor for, I don't know, a 6-week checkup or something. I don't know what it was. And he looked at me and he said, you got to get it together, girl, because you are one anxious mess.
Wow.
But what did it for me, I think, because I didn't go to counseling or anything, but I became part of a church and became part of a family there, because my husband and I lived in California. His family was in New Jersey. My family was in Minnesota. Wow. So we were kind of alone out there,
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I really learned about who I am, and that I was made in the image and likeness of God, and that I am somebody because God made me.
Yeah.
Not because of what I've done, but because God made me. And so slowly but surely throughout those years of being in church and all is where I've gotten to today.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautiful that you was in a church that actually teach. I grew up in preaching churches. So growing up, I never knew what the preacher was talking about.
Yeah.
I just knew people get real excited real fast. So I didn't have anything to really latch on to in the teaching that would have helped me understand those things. But it's like you said, that little girl who makes up stories, I call them stories, we do the best we can, right? So as kids, we're trying to figure out why, for me, same story, my mom, single mom, I'm her only child. My dad and my mother wasn't together. So it was like, I saw my dad on weekends and those kind of things, but the little girl mind was saying, why is my dad not here?
Right.
Like, why did he pick that family and not this family? And so beginning to make up those stories, and I didn't even know until I started doing this kind of coaching work that I could consider those thoughts and memories a story. And when I began to give it that language that, I created a story that my dad chose.
Right.
And I created a story that my life would have been better if my mom and dad was together. Because I had no evidence or no proof of that, right?
Yeah.
And considering who my parents are, I would have been way more dysfunctional than my parents.
So your daddy did you a favor.
He did me a favor, I didn't even know it. But like you said, as that little girl, we make up the story.
Yeah.
Because no one is bold enough to say to your dad, hey dad, why are you over there and not here? And then what I learned is, even when they tell you, when we're not doing the emotional work to clear out the disbeliefs, we won't even believe their story.
Yeah.
We'll say, that's not why you did it.
Yeah. Because you're so full of your own.
Because,
Yeah. I really worry about kids that come from broken homes, and so many do now. But I just know my own grandchildren, their mom she's very controlling, and she's very angry. I don't know why. Because she was this way when she was married to my son. It wasn't that she became that way after they split up.
Right.
But she's very jealous of my current daughter-in-law, and she's, I don't know what she thinks about their child, who's 5, but she's so controlling, Kanisha, and she is so, I don't know if she actually hates Christina or just doesn't like the fact that she's around. I don't know what it is, but when my grandson, he's 13, and he had called his daddy, and my son Christina and Louie were in the car, and he had gone into the store, so she answered his phone. And she said, well, hey, your daddy will be here in just a minute, and how's school, what's going on? And she heard in the background, hang up, you're not talking to that woman. And it really hurts me, not only for my grandkids that are exposed to that, but it's got to be terrible to feel that way.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. I do.
Yeah.
Even though she's been very negative to our family, something happened somewhere to make her that way. I don't know what.
Yeah, yeah. And it's kind of like today in the meeting, someone asked, how do you make a person go get help that need help?
You can't.
You can't. Until, I just believe it, that whole, till the pain gets bad enough. Kind of like that whole, I think it's Maya Angelou, someone said, when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, we have to get to that place. And like you said, the problem is the damage that is causing, particularly children.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Whenever I'm around people and I hear the way they talk to their children, I think to myself, how have we yet not understood the effects of those things?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
And I call it, so one of my coaching programs is called Awakening. Because to me, until we wake up to the damage we're causing, to what the hurt is causing us to do, the decisions we're making because we're mad, sad, angry, bitter, resentful, until we wake up to that, we keep doing it. And so I can't even care about how I make you feel, because I'm so disconnected from myself.
Yeah.
When my clients do that program and they begin to wake up, I love them because they're like, it's really like I woke up. It's like a different world. Like, I see everything differently. And I'm like, yeah. And one of my clients, it was so sweet, she says, Kanisha, once you wake up, can you go back to sleep? I said, do you want to?
Can I go back to sleep?
She said, sometimes I do, because now it's too hard. What she meant was now she has to take ownership.
Yeah.
She has to be responsible for her life.
Yeah.
Where before, it was, the job's fault. It was the people, it was everybody else's fault.
Right, yeah.
But now she's like, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
So can I go back to sleep?
Well, on that note, we are not going to go to sleep, but we are going to take our first break. So when we come back, we'll have more of Kanisha, and we're going to talk about what was fear and love. What are the two emotions? Fear and love.
Fear.
Yep. We're going to talk about love and fear, the two emotions, and all the other things break off of those two.
Yeah.
So don't go away. We'll be right back. We are live. This is the 3rd of November, and we'd love to take a phone call. I want Kanisha to talk about her workshop she's doing, where it is and what time. I know it's tomorrow night. That's all I know. Yes. And so we'll talk about all that when we come back. So don't go away. And we'll be back with more of Here's to Your Good Health. Hang on.
At Down East Hearing Care Associates, we are dedicated to taking care of every client by providing personal, high-quality hearing care services. My staff and I know hearing loss affects each person and their loved ones differently, so we give you the time and the care you need to ensure the hearing technology chosen fits your lifestyle. At Down East Hearing Care, we also make custom ear molds and specialize in emergency hearing aid repairs. Down East Hearing Care Associates has 2 locations, one in Knightdale and one in Rocky Mount. We have hearing lives to save.
Hi, I'm Richard Goss, pharmacist and owner of Allman's Drugstore here in Rocky Mount. Here today with my wife and 2 daughters. For over 75 years, Allman's Drugstore has been the pharmacy of choice for residents of Edgecombe and Nash County. Our family is proud to call Rocky Mount home, and we are excited about the new services and products we are adding daily at both of our Allman's Drugstore's locations and also at our medical supply store.
Come in and see us at Allman's Medical Supply. We're an extension of Allman's Drugstores, your local hometown pharmacy. We're here to service all your needs, from wheelchairs to walkers to orthopedic supports to compression hose to hard-to-find wound care supplies. And you'll always get that hometown customer service.
We want our patients to pay the best prices, get the best service available, and have a better pharmacy experience than they will get anywhere else. Our staff is committed to going above and beyond to meet our patients' needs. Whether it is working with your provider to get you the best medication at the best price, contacting your provider to get you refills or a prior authorization, or taking the time to review each of your medications with you personally, or perhaps even helping you find an old-time remedy or other hard-to-find items, your Allman's Drugstore staff will work hard to meet your pharmacy needs. At Allman's, we will deliver your prescriptions for free. Both of our stores have drive-through windows, we guarantee short wait times, and our pharmacists will come out to greet you personally and answer any questions you have. If you want to be met with a smiling face, or even want someone to greet you by name when you walk through the doors, we are the pharmacy for you.
Call Allman's Drugs today.
443-3138 or 446-0014.
Hello, welcome back. This is Here's to Your Good Health, and we're with Kanisha Berry. I'm going to get it all screwed up for the night's over, but I'll get it right. And we're talking about different emotions, and I'm going to have her expound on love and fear.
Yes.
Because that was really a great speech this afternoon at that meeting. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, so years ago I heard a teacher say that there were only 2 true emotions, the emotion of love and the emotion of fear, and that everything else was an expression of those 2 things. And I'm the type of person, and particularly because I'm a Christian, I take everything to the Word. And so I literally did a word search, and I looked up the word love, and I began to look at all of the words that would be in the conversation around love. And it would be things like peace, love, joy, obedience, right? I know, we don't like that one, but those were the kind of things I would see in the conversation around the word love in the Bible. So I was like, okay, this lady may be onto something. And then when I looked up the word fear, I would see things like pride, jealousy, anger. And it's right, so for me, it's right there in scriptures. And I'm the type that when I begin to learn these, that like we're driven so much by our emotions and what we think, and you can't make me break down what exactly it is I'm feeling all the time. I can't communicate that I'm feeling disengaged or disconnected or unwanted. I can't find those words, but I will immediately know that this is connected to some type of fear. And so for me, when I begin to practice that, and if there's something I want to accomplish, there's a person I want to connect with, there's just, a lot of people procrastinate. I can certainly procrastinate. When I'm in that place of procrastinating, when it's something that's really important for me that I really want to do, I begin to say, what are you afraid of? What is the story you're telling yourself about the fear? What is the fear? What is the fear? And then I'll just kind of search down, and I'm like, oh, sometimes I'm just afraid that if I get started on this project, that I'll be exhausted. Or if I get started on this project, now I have to do the other thing too. And so then I have to tell myself, well, just break down and only commit to doing this part today. And it's okay. So that'll kind of get me out of the procrastination. But instead of getting consumed about, oh, I feel insecure, I just take it right to fear. And then I begin to battle with that. And as a guide girl, sometimes I just simply say, fear not, for the Lord is with me. Or find those things, biblical things that just comfort me out of the fear. And guess what? Anytime you move out of fear, you move into love. And love is faith and it's power. And it's a sound mind, right? And so you begin to move and make choices from that place and space. So that's how I teach that, and it has just been has made such a difference in my life. I use it with my family. I love my husband. He's such a student, and then he goes and take it to the kids at his school. But also my children, 19 and 17, they will do it too. They would call me like, Mom, guess what I did today? I was feeling this way, and I worked through it, and I realized what I was really feeling was this, and so then I went and just did the thing I needed to do. And I'm like, way to go. So they actually they use the information and apply.
So is procrastination is what, fear of not doing it right, or not?
It's fear for different. It's definitely some type of fear. What type of fear it is different for each individual. Like you said, for some people it could be, well, I'm putting it off because I want to do it right, or I'm afraid of getting it wrong. Some people people put off the things that they hate the most. Whenever I meet a client who talks a lot about procrastination, we always go to the place of, what is it you want? And oftentimes they are in a career or in a path or having to do something that is so far from their passion and what makes them happy and what brings them joy. So then I can connect them to, okay, if you do this thing that you've been putting off, will it get you closer to the thing you want to do? And when they begin to see it that way, you know what, if I just get this done, then I can get over here and do the stuff that I really want to do. So procrastination is different for different people. The message, it's all in the messaging.
I'm procrastinating a business plan because I'm overwhelmed, because I don't know how to do it.
So I'll give you one of my little tools that my clients seem to really like, and it's so simple, they can't believe it. Sticky notes. Because when we write a list down, the list gets as long as this piece of paper, right? You're like, oh, that's too much. But if you just put one little thing on a sticky note, and then when you accomplish the one thing, you get rid of the note, and you feel so accomplished because it's now, oh my God, like I can see myself doing things.
You know, that's the same with like losing weight. Or you get so overwhelmed at what you have to give up, so to speak. And so, or like learning how to not drink sweet tea. That's a biggie of mine. You all know I don't like sweet tea because it's not good for you. It's just empty calories. But I'll tell my patients, so you start with a quarter of your glass is unsweet tea and 3/4 is sweet. And you get used to that. And then you go to a half and a half. And then you go to 3/4 and a fourth. And so it's kind of the same thing. You're accomplishing taking the sticky note off. You're accomplishing starting to learn how to do it. Instead of just saying, I'm never drinking sweet tea again. That sets you up for failure.
Yeah, I can see that. That's good. Now, tea is not my problem. It's the ice cream and the cookies.
We all got a sweet tooth, and you know that sugar is more addictive than cocaine.
Oh, and it's horrible. Yeah, I was trying to do, well, and again, like you said, I was reading about I think it's the keto diet, and no sugar. But to me, what the sugar part that really made me sad was the fruit. I can't go fruit, like, I love an apple, but one of my friends, she said, for a little while, not forever, and I'm like, it didn't occur to me. And so it's like you say, it's taking the big scary part away by making it small enough where it seems doable.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. So that's fear. And There's a lot of fear, especially now in our society and with everything going on, and the political climate's upheaval, and there's no respect for people anymore, and there's no respect for life, and no respect for people's property. So fear can it can get in us and invade us.
Yeah, and I kind of wish the church would teach more on fear. I meant to do a word study, but I remember when I started doing this teaching, I began to realize that the Bible talks a lot about fear, like fear not, and God doesn't give you a spirit of fear. But at least in my community growing up, I hear a lot of people talk about the devil this, the devil that, the devil that, and I'm thinking, the devil's not bothering you as much as
yourself is. Your negativity.
Oh, your negativity, your fear of trying something new. And a lot of times like this, I think the anger that we're seeing now in the country and the hurt that people are expounding on each other, it is that inward fear that says, if I don't blame you, if I don't make you change, then it must be me. And so it can't be me, so it's got to be you. So I'm going to go over there and, if I can make all this group of people go away or stop or whatever, then my life would be better. No. If you would just deal with your internal, I call it the monster, those thoughts in your head, the feelings of insecurity, the feelings of distrust, unworthiness. Like so many people struggle with not feeling worthy.
Yeah.
And again, like today I said, shame. Shame is such a horrible, horrible emotion because again, shame, guilt tells us I did something wrong, but shame says I am wrong. Like I'm wrong, I'm unworthy, I shouldn't even exist. And I think because of the work I do, I was saying to a client recently, I said, she was talking about some people in her life, and I said, if you ever think about what goes on in a person's mind, for some people it must be absolutely painful for them to be in their own minds. Because our thoughts, they attack and they come at, and until we learn how to do that work, slowing down the mind, quieting the mind. The Bible says to renew the mind, right? Some spiritual teachers teach that whole notion of emptying the mind. That's not biblical. The Bible doesn't tell us to empty anything. I always say good luck with that. Good luck with trying to make this thing empty. But you can learn to quiet the mind, reprogram it, rewire it by renewing. And so I feel so sad for a person where the chatter is just so loud and it's constant. So I think that is a lot of the anger and stuff we're seeing in the world and in America, and why people are so angry because they think they've been wronged, but it's all in here. It's like, bruh, I didn't take your job. Like it wasn't me, but you're over here.
It was available.
Right.
And I applied. And
and
they said
guess
yes.
what? And if we sit across from each other, we didn't even apply for the same one. What are you talking about?
Right.
So it's just these stories we tell ourselves. Many times watching, I call it feeding the mind when we're watching news.
Oh, I don't watch news. It's all
So unhealthy.
Yes,
It's
it
so
really
unhealthy.
is.
I watch it. What's the weather?
Yeah, I watch the weather sometimes.
If there's some big catastrophe that says, in case you shouldn't go outside your house today, I said to Andre, I said, somebody will put it on Facebook if that's happened.
Right, that's right.
But to sit every day and watch the news
No,
and
I
definitely
can't.
to know what's happening in the
No,
political
I
world.
can't. I can't. I just. Yeah. I was going to say something. Now, what the heck was it? Well, I can't remember this very minute, but I'll remember in a minute. I
That's
will. I
right.
will.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know how to say this right. I don't want to. But I think that we just need more of empathy, understanding, compassion. And I know I was going to ask you, how do you empty your mind?
I don't.
How do you stop your mind from going
The quiet.
when you're trying to go to sleep?
For me, I love that question. So people talk about meditation. Right. And I get it. Like I always ask people, do you meditate? No. Should I try it? But my mind goes all over the place. Gratitude.
That's really a big one, isn't
Oh,
it?
it's so sweet. It's so sweet. It's when you just start at the end of the night, if your mind is all over the place, if you just stop and start thanking God for every little thing. Think about everything you're grateful for. Your mind will slow down.
Okay, that's good to
And it's
know.
going to take you into a very sweet place. I think it brings you right into the presence of God. And so in there's no crazy chaos. And I'm talking about, thank Him for the things, thank Him for breath. Thank Him that, you survived a day. That I used to say, kind of jokingly, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to have food to eat when I'm hungry. Because there are literally people who are hungry but don't have anything to eat.
That's right.
So it's not even just, I'm going to bless my food, but no, thank you that I get to have it.
Right.
During the time
I
when
have
I'm
food
hungry.
that I can bless.
Yeah. And we just move about life and we don't take time to be grateful for what we have, because sometimes our minds are racing to what we want, what we don't have, what we wish we had, what we've lost. But what do you have? What do you have to be grateful for? And for the person who may be watching and says, well, I don't have anything to be grateful for. I just lost my job. Thanksgiving's coming up. I don't have family. You have breath. You're breathing, and some people don't have that. And even I heard a minister say, and if you're using oxygen, you have oxygen.
There you go. There you go.
So you have plenty to be thankful for.
Yeah.
We just have to learn how to.
That's something they teach you in rehabs and people who are trying to stop drinking or some kind of an addiction, drugs, whatever it is teaching you to be grateful.
Yeah. And I promise you, it works every time. I went to a meditation one time, and the lady said, we're going to sit here quiet, and we're going to let the thoughts come, and they're going to pass through. And I'm like, my thoughts don't pass through.
Yeah, mine stay right there.
And then I tell her, I was like, and they go get some other mean thoughts, and they all attack me all at one time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's probably all different for different people. Like, I'm a type A, and so my brain goes a lot at night. And so I've learned, I put on a very low instrumental music. I was trying to put on Christian music, but then I knew all the words and I'd start singing, so I couldn't do that.
That's right.
And I love piano and I love violin, so I would try find those, but I did find a harp that's really lovely.
Oh, nice.
And so I put that on low, and then I lay in the bed and I thank God for all I have and thank for whatever happened during the day,
Yeah.
And that's I've just had to learn how to kind of be still. That's not easy, but
Yeah. And breath, too. Just taking deep breaths and kind of connecting to your breath and hearing it. It actually is very calming. It's very calming.
they teach you that, and psychiatrists will teach you that for your patients.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for our next break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more. We'd love to talk to you. Give us a call, 407-1111. We'll be right back. Hang on.
At Down East Hearing Care Associates, we are dedicated to taking care of every client by providing personal, high-quality hearing care services. My staff and I know hearing loss affects each person and their loved ones differently. So we give you the time and the care you need to ensure the hearing technology chosen fits your lifestyle. At Down East Hearing Care, we also make custom ear molds and specialize in emergency hearing aid repairs. Down East Hearing Care Associates has 2 locations, one in Knightdale and one in Rocky Mount. We have hearing lives to save.
When faced with special care needs for elderly or disabled loved ones, families want compassionate, comforting care. That's Tender Touch Home Care Services' goal, providing the level of care we would expect for our own. With over 10 years of home care excellence, Tender Touch provides an array of services that keeps your loved one at home. From personal care, light housekeeping, errands, and meal preparation, to our private duty care program, which combines all of our home care offerings in one package.
Tender Touch Home Care Services, where your needs are our concern. You rip and tear your old statements and bills, but thieves use this information to steal your identity. Don't be a victim. Get the ID Police, the new ink roller that encrypts all your old documents. So before you throw it out, just roll it on, and your information is gone, both on the front and through the back, even if the paper is held up to the light. Even your medical information is safe with the ID Police. So block it out before you throw it out. Order now and get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 and get free shipping too. This offer is not available on Amazon, so call or click now to get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 with free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-903-8865. That's 1-800-903-8865. Or visit getidpolice.com. So call 1-800-903-8865 now.
Hi, I'm Richard Goss, pharmacist and owner of Allman's Drugstore here in Rocky Mount. Here today with my wife and 2 daughters. For over 75 years, Allman's Drugstore has been the pharmacy of choice for residents of Edgecombe and Nash County. Our family is proud to call Rocky Mount home, and we are excited about the new services and products we are adding daily at both of our Allman's Drugstore's locations and also at our medical supply store.
Come in and see us at Allman's Medical Supply. We're an extension of Allman's Drugstores, your local hometown pharmacy. We're here to service all your needs, from wheelchairs to walkers to orthopedic supports to compression hose to hard-to-find wound care supplies. And you'll always get that hometown customer service.
We want our patients to pay the best prices, get the best service available, and have a better pharmacy experience than they will get anywhere else. Our staff is committed to going above and beyond to meet our patients' needs. Whether it is working with your provider to get you the best medication at the best price, contacting your provider to get you refills or a prior authorization, or taking the time to review each of your medications with you personally, or perhaps even helping you find an old-time remedy or other hard-to-find items, your Allman's Drugstore staff will work hard to meet your pharmacy needs. At Allman's, we will deliver your prescriptions for free. Both of our stores have drive-through windows, we guarantee short wait times, and our pharmacists will come out to greet you personally and answer any questions you have. If you want to be met with a smiling face, or even want someone to greet you by name when you walk through the doors, we are the pharmacy for you.
Call Allman's Drugs today.
443-3138 or 446-0014.
Hello, welcome back. My name is Linda Prezioso. This is Here's to Your Good Health. I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center, and I have Kanisha Berry with me tonight. She is an author, and I'm going to buy this book and read it tonight before I go to sleep. 5 Steps to Conquering Fear. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. And we talked about 2 emotions, love and fear, and everything else stems from one of those. Love is peace, joy, contentment. Fear is rejection, anger. We see a lot of fear these days, and all the consequences of the fear in our world. So let's just talk a little bit again about your workshop you're having tomorrow night. Where is it? What time is it?
So it starts at 6. It is at the station,
Station Square.
Station Square. Yes, it's in a room there. And if you purchase your ticket, you also get dinner, because I know I'm asking you to come out right around dinner time. So I'll serve you dinner as you learn how to win at love and money. So we're just going to teach you, because I know oftentimes as women, we take on the world.
Yes.
Right? And then we get stressed and overwhelmed, and we don't always know how to take care of ourselves. So that's what this workshop is going to do. It's just give you some tips and strategies on how to take care of yourself when you're in that state.
So what a deal. You go out at 6, you get dinner, you get taught, and you're home at what, 7:30?
By 8.
8.
Yep. 6 to 8.
I mean, it's a great deal. She's got competition, unfortunately. It's the adoption banquet or something. Tomorrow night. You'll find that in Rocky Mount small enough, And we're so community oriented. You can't ever pick the right date.
Right.
There's always you're going to be competing with somebody. So you just have to, don't fear
Yes.
about picking the date. Just jump right in and pick it.
Yes. And I believe in God's perfect timing.
That's right.
So when things don't go the way I want them to, I have to surrender and say, okay. But I don't give up. It's not easy not to, because there are moments I'm like, but then my mind, because my father has always ingrained that in me. I know it gets tough, but whatever you do, don't give up.
Right.
And so when I feel like that, I hear my dad going, I know, but don't give up. Sometimes I go like, be quiet.
But you have to, because in my essential oil business, I teach classes and there's plenty of times nobody showed, or there's been one person.
Yeah.
And you've made a big effort to be there, and you've got all this information, and you've got all these oils, and and sometimes you think, well, it's only for one person, but I've really developed some great relationships with only one person.
Yeah.
And so you're right. You can't give up. You just got to keep plugging away.
Yeah. And it's strange how there are times when people say, I wish I had something like that. And then when you provide it, no one shows up.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I think that whole perseverance builds our character. And so who am I becoming? So sometimes I have to ask, I will go into prayer and say, Lord, okay, who do I need to become to have this, the success or the thing that I think I want? So if I haven't gotten it, I pray and ask, well, who do I need to become? Like, where do I need to grow? What new information do I need? Instead of just going, it's never going to work. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I do have times where I say, this is it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I have my little pity party, and then I get back on track.
Yeah.
Because I've been building my oil business for about 7 years, and I have, started this Medi-Spa, and it's taking off actually quicker than I thought it would, so that's a real blessing.
Yeah.
But I pray every day, I get up, read my word, journal. I don't journal every day, but I do when I feel like I have something to say, or if a scripture pops out of the word, which that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And then, I do my exercise, I get ready for work, and then I pray on the way to work. And so that's kind of my daily routine.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I need. But let me tell you, God, He puts you to test sometimes,
Don't I know?
So I'm in the process of getting a couple of dental implants, and it's terrible. Have you had them?
No, but I had a root canal, and they're gonna have to pull the tooth because they couldn't get to the root, and they talking about putting an implant. My sister's had it, and she talks about the pain.
It's not the pain for me; it's the length of time. And see, it's front teeth for me.
Oh.
So I have to wear this stupid thing.
Oh.
You don't even know what my real mouth looks like, but you will one day. But anyway, so I was real excited because I was on the last leg of this. This has been going on since June.
Wow.
It takes that long. And so, I went to my dentist's office, and they have this guy, they have the different colored teeth, and they put them in next to your own tooth, and then he takes these high-powered pictures, and he makes the teeth. And so he was doing all that, and I'm listening, fascinated. Let's try R32. No, N21. I said, are we playing bingo? But anyway, he's done it a long time. I learned about how we got into it, and all that was kind of interesting. And so I said, okay, so my birthday is next week, and I said, am I going to get my teeth for my birthday? Well, there's a problem. Well, I had prayed just the day before. I said, God, I've been so whiny, and so poor, pitiful me, and so complaining about everything, especially at work with my schedule and all. And I said, I'm just not going to do that anymore. I don't like who I am. I don't like what I'm doing. I'm going to be grateful for everything, no matter what. So I go and I find out about my teeth. Well, the titanium that he needs is somewhere in a cargo ship off of the coast of something. And I went, I'm not going to complain. And so I've just laughed about it. You might as well laugh. You can't do anything else about it anyway.
Yeah.
So now my cry is, all I want for Christmas is a T-Renty.
I love it.
Oh, gosh.
I love it. So I have this crazy idea or notion that God tells us what to pray before we know to pray it, right? So, because he's such a good, loving God and gentle God, that he's preparing us ahead of time if we are willing to receive the preparation. And so to me, I know you prayed that, but it was always like he put that in your heart to pray because he knew, okay, Linda's going to go.
Oh, and she's going to really be upset.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So, and then ahead of time, now that you received this news, you was ready for it.
I was ready for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about it, but
right. But you had a different disposition.
That's right. That's right. Because I can whine and cry and curse and huff and puff,
and they're still going to be out there.
They're still going to be out there. They're not. It's going to come when it comes.
Yeah.
And so, but that's how God works.
He
puts you to the test. Okay, you said you're going to do this, Linda.
I've been asking him, okay, Lord, what is it now that you want me to learn? Because I often feel like what you talk about with your business, I told my husband, I said, I always feel like I'm starting over. Like I started this in the UAE, and right as I was about to start, like I had did one of my first speaking engagements, so excited. Then I was going to put on my own event. We had to leave. I'm like, okay. So then we get here, we're here for like 4 months, and I start doing a few things, and then we move to China. So I get there, and it took about 2 years to build some momentum, get people, and then I'm back here. And so I'm like, I always feel like I'm starting from scratch with this business.
Can we plant roots now?
I don't. You know what's funny? Every time we get a medical bill, we talk about leaving the country.
Oh, because the health care is cheaper?
Yeah. So, praise God we can afford to pay it. But Dre's like, did you see this? Did you see how much they charge us for this? Yeah. And particularly I had to get dental work. It's easier there too. So.
There's a reason people walk around without teeth in their mouth.
Oh, definitely.
It's not because they think they look great.
No.
It's because
you have to sell your house.
Yeah.
Mortgage a house to get.
Yeah.
I told my son, he's out in Minnesota. And honestly, I forget to get him dental care because Bryson does so much for himself. His school, actually, he's on a full scholarship. So the school provided him insurance. I didn't know that was a part of the scholarship, but they don't have dental. And so I said, Bryce, I looked it up. They have a dental school out there. Go to the dental school. It's like it's cheaper. They're going to, they have, the professors are dentists, so it's not like it's just this student by himself.
Drilling on your teeth. Yeah.
He's like, Mom, I didn't think of that. I said, yeah. So instead of, because he was so disappointed, he thought the insurance covered, and then they called him with a bill. And I said, well, do you want us to pay it? No, I can do it. I'm just bothered that I have to. I say, well, Bryce, we can, for my husband and I, for us, we're like, son, we don't have to pay your tuition. Whatever you need,
right.
Mom and Dad will handle it. But he has work study. So he tries so hard to be a man. Like he walks into that role because he told us he wanted a new suit, and so he's taking pictures and sending it to him. And his dad said, "How much is the suit?" He told me, he says, "Use this card and get the suit." He's like, "Dad," he was like, "Bryson, we will buy the suit for you." So he just tries so hard to do things for himself. I'm like, bro, you did so much for us by getting a scholarship.
I know, right? You don't know how many thousands you saved us.
Yeah. I tell you what, if he wasn't awarded a scholarship at McAllister, I don't think that would be his school. It would cost $70,000 a year to go to school there.
Wow.
Right.
Is it a private school?
I think so. $70,000 a year.
And now it's 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
$35,000. Yeah. You
So-
can buy him the suit. Buy him the suit. That's right.
You need the computer. What do you need? Yes.
All right.
So-
We've got to go. If you've got time tomorrow at 6 o'clock at Station Square,
Yes,
and if you
please
haven't
come out.
purchased a ticket, I feel sure that she will be happy to take your money when you
Yes,
walk in
and
the
you
door.
even get a discount at this
Well,
spot.
there
We're doing
you
a half
go.
price, so please
Okay,
go to my
yeah,
website
yeah,
and get a
that would be
ticket.
great. And the website's on the screen, and I will see you next week with more Here's Your Good Health. Thanks, girl.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
this
you for
girl.
having
She's just
me.
so awesome.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you next week. Good night.
Bye-bye.